Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, former current chief staff is being investigated, moving $1 million of campaign funds into his private company.
Bin Laden's son is wanted by the State Department with a $1 million reward offered.
The conflict in Venezuela continues. We have a professor's perspective.
And are we in for rain this weekend? Find out more on the weather forecast.
Welcome to this week edition of Newscene. I'm Juan Gomez.
And I'm Ira Elise. Here is Yakira with the latest on the scandal involving a rising star in Congress.
Thank you, Ayo. Freshman Congresswoman is accused of funneling thousands of dollars. A conservative group filed a complaint to the Federal Election Committee. However, no laws were broken in the financial transfer. New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is being questioned over her finances. The freshman congresswoman and her chief of staff, Saikat Chabarati, have been accused of allegedly violating campaign finance laws. The allegation comes as a surprise for Ocasio-Cortez supporters. She is known for advocating against the misuse of campaign funds and being critical over President Trump.
Yes. So we have a system that is fundamentally broken. We have these influences existing in this body, which means that these influences are here in this committee shaping the questions that are being asked of you all right now. And every person in this body is being held to a higher ethical standard than the President of the United States.
According to the complaint with the Federal Election Committee, Ocasio-Cortez's chief of staff transferred over $800,000 in contributions from political action committees. The money was then deposited into two private companies, which he also controls. The campaign funds were allegedly transferred to Brand New Campaign and the Brand New Congress. Although large financial transfers from PACs to LLCs are not illegal, the two LLCs do not have to report all of their major expenditures. The complaint filed by the Virginia-based National Legal and Policy Center argues the transfers are a way to avoid a loophole when federal reporting are required. The New York representative has denied all accusations, and Chief of Staff explained the LLC's concepts through Twitter when political commentator Ryan Grimm questioned the Chief of Staff through Twitter. According to the websites, the companies are both post-partisan groups that help elect people-funded and unbought representatives into Congress. That's all that we have for the lead report. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Yakira, for that report. The former campaign manager of Donald Trump was sentenced on Thursday. Paul Manafort was sentenced to less than 4 years in prison for tax fraud and other crimes. Manafort's conviction was exposed by Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Manafort was facing up to 24 years in prison, but his sentence was lighter than prosecutor asked for. But this is only one of the two cases involving Manafort. Next week, he will be receiving a second sentence for conspiracy and witness tampering.
The Food and Drug Administration Commissioner announced this week he will be resigning at the end of the month. Dr. Scott Leave says that he's in an interview that he wanted to spend more time with his family. He originally took the position after being nominated by President Trump in 2017. He worked previously under President George W. Bush and as part of Trump's transition team. President Trump wrote on Twitter that Gottlieb did a terrific job as commissioner and that he and his talents will be greatly missed.
And the son of Osama bin Laden is one of the U.S. Department most wanted. The U.S. is offering up to $1 million for information of the whereabouts of Hamza bin Laden. The younger bin Laden is emerging as the new leader of Al-Qaeda. The State Department officials say bin Laden is releasing videos on the internet calling for attacks on the U.S. and its allies to avenge the 2011 death of his father. Bin Laden is married to the daughter of Mohammed Atta, the lead 9/11 hijacker. Bin Laden is thought to be hiding along the Afghan-Pakistan border.
North Korea appears to be rebuilding a dismantled nuclear missile facility. South Korean intelligence agencies are reporting North Korea is building a site to test long-range missile engines. Experts believe the rebuilding effort is a response to the stalemate reached at the recent Trump-Kim summit in Vietnam. It is also in direct opposition to requests made by the U.S. for North Korea to dismantle their nukes. President Trump says he would be very disappointed if the reports turned out to be true.
And Homeland Security was secretly tracking journalists and believed to be tied to migration caravan late last year. KNSD reveals that leaked materials show that several agencies, including Border Patrol, used an internal application to collect information of those on the secret list. The list included journalists, activists, and social influencers. And the country of Venezuela is living uncertainty in regards to the future of the nation. Crew members and myself gather information and interview a local professor to refresh on what's happening in the Latin America country. Venezuela is in a humanitarian crisis amid conflict between its elected president Nicolás Maduro and opposition leader and self-declared interim president Juan Guaidó. Multiple U.S. journalists covering the crisis have been detained by Maduro's government, including Univision Jorge Ramos and ABC 10's Cody Güero, who was released yesterday morning. Professor Enrique Dávalos, a Chicano study professor at San Diego City College, says the crisis is due to potential U.S. intervention.
What is happening now, the most relevant situation now, is that the U.S. government decided to overthrow the government of Venezuela. The U.S. government made this decision, and now they are preparing in politically and military terms.
Dávalos also acknowledged the reasons why Ramos was detained.
In the case of Jorge Ramos, I disagree with detaining him, but also I understand the frustration of sort of like the government. If I go and I make a report about the people in the United States starving, and I get the picture of that person and use it as if that was the representation of the country, I will frustrate it as well.
The professor also gave us his opinion whether Maduro was a dictator or not.
No, he's no. I mean, he was elected. He received a lot of popular support. It's obvious that he has also position. If you want to compare dictators in the world, I mean, the rating for him would be really low. I mean, Saudi Arabia, the thing that Saudi Arabian government has done, the thing that the Mexican government has done, that will be more than...
Now, it is reported that Venezuela has lost power in many cities of the nation since Thursday night. Authorities in Venezuela are blaming that outage on anti-government sabotageurs.
And in a turn of unlikely events, find out the fate of two little girls who ran away from home. More after the break.
A team here on campus has a winning streak going, and we'll tell you more in sports.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
And 3 San Diego men were among those killed in a helicopter crash in Kenya last Sunday. Dave Baker, Ander Ashers, and Brandon Strapper were among the 5 killed when the chopper went down. An outpouring of sadness from family and friends in San Diego and beyond was shared on social media. The cause of the crash is still unknown.
A former Sweetwater Union High School district employee has been arrested for embezzlement. 42-year-old Dana Margarita Williams was arrested for stealing over $50,000 in money orders from the district. The money orders were submitted for district fingerprint background checks, but then deposited into Williams's personal account. The thefts occurred between 2016 and 2017.
Authorities believe a tourist may fake his own death to avoid rape charges in Scotland. The Monterey County Sheriff Department said Kim Gordon's 17-year-old son reported him missing after he failed to return from an ocean swim. Officials grew suspicion when the son's story was missing key details. He couldn't say where Gordon was swimming or even how the father and son got to Monterey from Los Angeles. Gordon is wanted on 24 counts of rape in Scotland. U.S. Marshals are now looking into the disappearance.
Bay Area police are introducing a Tesla cop car. The Fremont Police Department is the first in the nation to drive an all-electric car. The Tesla Model S85 was unveiled Wednesday, sporting a siren and the classic police patrol colors, black and white. This is the first police car in the nation to be 100% emission-free.
And electric scooters are taking over the streets, and some think they take away pedestrians' rights of way. A disability rights group filed a federal lawsuit against the San Diego scooter rental companies, aiming the device left on sidewalks affect the right of people with disabilities. The lawsuit says scooters companies have done nothing to support users from riding on or parking scooters on sidewalks. The lawsuit seeks a ban of using and parking scooters on public walkways.
The only indoor skating rink in San Diego could be closing down, but the community isn't going to let it go quietly. The city of San Diego is selling Skate World, located in Linda Vista. The skating rink has helped schools, daycares, and YMCA groups for over 44 years to provide a fun place for kids. The owners of the Skate World do not want to see the treasured rink go to the highest bidder, as current plans include turning it into a retail store. A petition against the sale has reached nearly 14,000 signatures already. City Council will vote on the sale March 18th.
And what an amazing story. The two young sisters lost in the woods for nearly 2 whole days quitted their wilderness training for helping them survive. 8-year-old Leia Carrico and her 5-year-old sister Caroline wanted to play outside and hike the trails near their rural Northern California home. When their mother said no, the sisters went outside anyway. The sisters survived by huddling together to keep warm and drinking fresh water droplets from leaves. Truly amazing.
Really? The latest on the City College Nights and beyond. Here is Marissa Gonzalez with all the news we need in sports.
Thanks, Juan and Io. The City College men's tennis team has extended its winning streak to 10. The Knights secured the 10th victory against Wartburg College 7-0, improving their record to 10-0. In an interview with the City Times, Coach Brandon Lupian says the team hasn't even reached its full potential yet. The Knights lost their first 2 matches, but have clearly been improving ever since. Lupian attributes the Knights' success to the poise of the returning players and keeping consistent. Now, if you want a chance to relive the Knights basketball championship back in 2016, now is your chance. A screening of the City Champions documentary, directed by former Newscene David Purdell, is coming to campus Tuesday. The documentary showcases the Knights' historic season on their road to a state championship.
When we got down, when nobody dropped their heads, nobody lowered their heads, it was all positive, and I think our family mentality really stuck to it, telling everybody, boosting everybody up, confidence. It was all about our confidence, and we knew at that point nobody could stop us.
Following the showing with both Purdell and counselors to discuss mental health resources available on campus. The free screening is an MS 162 and starts at 2 p.m. Now here's something we don't talk about a lot here in San Diego, and that's parkour. Parkour competitors from up and down the West Coast travel to Apex, a local parkour gym, for their big spring competition. Now, if you're not familiar with parkour, it involves getting from point A to point B in the quickest, most efficient way, involving flips and jumps. Students from both City College and the surrounding areas took part in the tournament.
I think the competition is a great way to get yourself, not only to enjoy, really everybody, the community, get together, support each other, and see the best you can give in a moment.
There's a lot of talented athletes jumping around. Even the kids are doing awesome. Like, they're very impressive with the stuff they do.
Is split into 3 sections: skills, speed, and freestyle. Now, this was the qualifier for the big tournament in Santa Ana this June. And meantime, sad news has come out of Santa Anita after the 21st horse has died in a span of just a couple of months. The track has canceled any horse races indefinitely as they try to figure out the issue. The latest incident happened earlier this week while a horse was training and got injured, later being put down.
They get the absolute best in nutrition. They're exercised each day. Every single horse, we have between 1,800 and 2,000 horses here on the grounds at Santa Anita. They are all taken out of their stalls. They're either walked, jogged, galloped, or breezed on the main track or the training track.
Santa Anita are saying rain may have been a factor in changing the surface of the track and could have led to more injuries. Santa Anita is slated to host the Breeders' Cup later this year. Now that's all I have for sports this week. Back to you two at the desk.
Thank you, Marissa, for that wonderful report. It's funny because actually when I was a kid, I wanted to be like a parkour professional.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it turns out it didn't work out, but
okay.
It was for the best, I think. And Hollywood lost a huge star earlier this week. More on his legacy and entertainment.
I was very independent, thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. I love them. They're my savior. And I look forward to the volunteers because they've all become my friends. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
And we're celebrating today is International Women's Day across the globe. For many, International Women's Day celebrates women's contribution and raises awareness of gender inequality. Many celebrate with marches and rallies to advocate for women's rights. Women worldwide wear the color purple and use the hashtag International Women's Day in social media.
Great day indeed. A female cyclist was forced to stop in a prestigious race in Belgium because officials said she was getting too close to the male racers. 27-year-old Nicole Hanselman from Switzerland broke away from the female cyclist and was approaching the men. She was then stopped by officials and forced to wait over 2 minutes until the men were far enough away.
And Captain Marvel flies into theaters across the U.S. today. This is the first female-led superhero film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The PG-13 origin story stars Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, with support from Lashana Lynch as the fellow heroine, fighter pilot, and Samuel Jackson as young Nick Fury. The film was sold more pre-sales tickets than any movie since the last year Avengers Infinity War. However, Rotten Tomatoes had to change some of the policies due to trolling before the film screened.
A Blockbuster store became, in 2017, the last store in the U.S. near Oregon, but now there will be the last one left in the world. Staff at Bend, Oregon Blockbuster learned this week that the international store located in Australia was closing. According to CNN, the Oregon store has been open for 20 years, offering the newest movie releases. In 2010, Blockbuster declared bankruptcy and was sold to Dish Network. The blue and yellow store once had 9,000 stores in the entire world, and now just one left.
It's a shame. There goes part of my childhood. The curtain is up for the 4th annual New Play Festival at San Diego City College. The college black box theater was packed yesterday for the 2 p.m. opening. Students and faculty from all over the campus, as well as off-campus student visitors, came out to support the festival. The 10-minute plays were written and performed by students and directed by faculty. Thursday matinee are free to City College students. The event runs through March 16. Tickets for the remaining shows can be purchased online at Eventbrite.
Now, singer R. Kelly is in the headline news again. Sarah Makacha is here with the story.
Thank you, guys. Now, in our entertainment, troubled musician R. Kelly has been arrested for the second time in 2 weeks. A day after his interview, the CBS Gayle King went viral. Kelly was arrested for failing to pay child support. He owes more than $161,000 in back pay to his ex-wife. The artist was indicted on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse for allegedly having relations with 4 women when they were minors. King interviewed the musician about the charges filed against him and the documentaries Surviving Kelly. In one of the documentaries, the parents of Kelly's living girlfriends, Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Clay, say their daughter met him at a concert when he chose them from the crowd to perform a stage. The parents had hoped that Kelly will choose them to become their mentors. Instead, he began dating them. The girls, King, interviewed both Savage and Clay. They admit to date Kelly before they were 18, but they say their parents told them to lie about their age, and now they are dating him because they want to. In sad news, actor Luke Perry passed away Monday from a passive stroke. The 52-year-old started in Beverly Hills 90210 as teen heartthrob Dylan McKay in 1990s and currently starred as Dad Fred Andrews on C-Series Riverdale. In 1992, local cartoon artist J. Allen Stanford created a comic in honor of Perry, calling him a rebel without a pause. Current and former castmates took to Twitter, sharing fond memories and condolences to Perry family members. Perry is survived by his parents and kids Jack and Sophia. Jeopardy host Alex Trebek announced he has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Trebek shared the news on the show's official YouTube account on Wednesday.
It's not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this. And I'm going to keep working, and with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease.
28-year-old Trebek says he's keeping a positive attitude despite his battle. There is no argue that Kylie Jenner is a billionaire, but calling her self-made has a social media divide. Some argue that Jenner couldn't be self-made because she comes from the well-known Kardashian family. According to Forbes, the half-sister of Kim Kardashian West is the first 21-year-old and youngest self-made billionaire, beating previous record holder Mark Zuckerberg, who earned the title when he was 23. Forbes defended his mythology, saying Jenner's company is worth at least $900 million and she owns 100% of it. That's it for entertainment. Let's go back to the studio.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, there are some extreme weather expected in the southern parts of the country, so let's find out more on weather. I had like a whole minute to read that and I don't know what I did. There was some extreme weather.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
And 23 people are dead and dozens more hurt after tornado ripped through Alabama earlier this week. Lee County was hit by an EF4 twister with winds reaching 170 miles per hour. The deadliest tornado outbreak in nearly 6 years claimed victims as young as 6 years old. The 12 storms downed trees and reduced buildings to rubble and more in the forecast. Governor Kay Ivey said there's nothing less standing adverting is in shreds.
And it's time again to spring forward. Daylight saving time begins this Sunday. Remember to turn your clocks 1 hour ahead before heading to bed on Saturday night. Daylight saving time will begin officially this Sunday at 2 a.m. Barring any legislative changes by the state of California, it will end on November 3rd.
And here's Joel to break down the weather for us. Joel, what's heading up for this weekend?
There's a lot heading for this weekend when it comes to the weather. As you can see here by this map, it's half and half. Half cold, half hot. Mostly cold, as you can see. There's a lot of it in the Midwest especially, where there's multiple advisories, alerts, and warnings, the trifecta of alerts up in the Midwest, especially up in Bismarck, because it's 19 degrees. Otherwise, it's all 27, 30s, and something like that. But anyways, as you can see here, it goes from Boston to Portland, all cold, all the time, especially if you're in Fairborn, Ohio. Otherwise, everyone else here in the South, we're all cool here, from 79 degrees to 60 degrees in San Diego. Anyways, why don't we go to San Diego so I can show you the weather in San Diego as well. As you can see on the coast, it's all 50s and 60s. Well, only 160, but a bunch of 50s. Here in San Diego, we're warm-ish with 60 degrees, while everyone else gets 50s. Then you go to the mountains and yikes, it's all cold there. As you can see here, from 29 degrees to Palomar, all the way down to Camp at 46, especially the people of Mount Laguna who unfortunately have 28 degrees. Well, unless you're in Borrego, you get lucky at 58 degrees, so you're just as cool as Del Mar. You know, because everyone loves to go into Del Mar. However, the warmest is still here in America's finest city in San Diego. Now let's go to the AJ climate forecast, which you can see here. The coast has 56 degrees rain, but mostly clouds all the way to Thursday. And anyways, remember to set your clocks for daylight savings. And now, back to the desk.
Thank you, Joel. And a Virginia-based craft brewery has made a beer that tastes like Lucky Charms cereal.
The IPA called Saturday Morning quickly sold out last weekend. Beer Geeks have been selling 4 packs online for as much as $450. Can you believe that? Lines wrapped around the block starting at 7 a.m. in the morning. Well,
amazing. It's
know.
Not for me, to be honest. It's too sweet, too sweet.
Probably too sweet for me, too.
And guys, thank you. That's all the time we have for the show. Have a great weekend. I'm Juan Gomez.
And I'm Ayo Elise. Stay tuned next week for more stories from Newscene.